A UFO in China's skies forced Zhoushan Airport to stop operations on July 7th. Outbound flights were grounded after the unidentified flying object was detected by a flight crew. The incident has captured the attention of Chinese media, and theories about the UFO's identity are burning up on the internet as well. They include everything from a hidden U.S. bomber to an elaborate man-made hoax. For now, the UFO continues to be a mystery. A spokesman from China's Civil Aviation Administration confirmed to ABC News that the matter is under investigation.
Some Chinese residents are on edge this morning after another apparent UFO sighting. It's the second one in 2 weeks. The first sighting was on July 7th, and an airport had to be shut down.
All right, that's a UFO if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, can you identify it?
That's undeniable.
The airport had to be shut down after people apparently saw twinkling lights above the airport terminal. 17 flights had to be diverted. The latest sighting happened just 2 days ago, and people say they saw 4 lantern-like objects forming a dime shape in the air, hovering in the sky for over an hour. And aviation experts say they don't know what it was. It wasn't a plane.
Scientists from all over the world are trying to figure out what caused a mysterious blue light to spiral in the sky over Norway on Wednesday.
As UFO sightings go, this one was as good or as weird as it gets.
A light appearing high in the Arctic sky, baffling those who saw it and exciting a lot of comment. Early yesterday morning, just before dawn, this appeared in the Norwegian sky. A blue light, small at first, growing into a spiral, and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole. In the northern community of Trondelag and on a Norwegian military base, cell phones snapped, video cameras rolled, and bloggers got busy.
Tonight, Norwegian authorities are investigating strange lights seen in the Arctic sky. The spiraling white light was seen for several minutes Wednesday morning. Locals say the light appeared to be bigger than the moon. Thousands of Norwegians bombarded the Meteorological Institute to ask what that light could have possibly been. Some feared it could have been a meteor, others a black hole, and there are even those that thought it could be aliens.
A strange spiraling white light was spotted in the early morning sky over Sydney, with even skeptical witnesses wondering if it was a UFO. The unusual sight was recorded by hundreds of people from Victoria north to Queensland.
A spiral in the sky around a bright light.
Scientists left baffled by an unexplained circular light seen hovering high over Moscow on Wednesday evening. People described seeing a wide circular formation in the sky. Footage capturing the spectacle will help whether scientists and specialists find an explanation for the event.
What was in the skies over Jerusalem, and why did it stop over one of the most treasured sites in Christianity?
There's a new video this morning that some say may be proof we're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing.
Now it is sparking intense debate on the internet. Trace Gallagher following this live from our West Coast News. So the question is, what was that UFO? What was it doing over Jerusalem? And, you know, is he back?
Yeah, and that is the question, by the way, Megan, because, you know, critics, it's difficult for them to dismiss this because there are so many different angles. We've got 4 different videos, all from various perspectives, but they do not know of anything like this in the Israeli army.
All right, because listen, I don't like to be scared. I just can't take it. It's, you know, I don't know what it is.
Well, I wish I could give you an answer to this bizarre sighting. I really can't, but I can tell you that earlier today, there were dozens and dozens of people right here on 23rd and 8th. They were standing right here, and they were all in a stupor, just crowded together, looking into the sky.
Well, a lot of people are looking up. It's because of a mystery in the sky. Is it a balloon, a UFO? Whatever it is, it sure has a lot of people talking. Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Begay is live in Chelsea, where crowds have gathered. Jeff, what's this all about?
Well, Sade, we don't know.
at that. Oh my gosh. What the heck is that? What is that? Look at they joined. Oh my God.
Nice, dude. Isn't that great?
Yeah, look at that view.
Shit. Awesome. Hey, what the hell is that right there? Dude.
I don't know. What is that?
What the hell? Whoa.
Look at it descending.
No way. What the... I wish I can zoom in a little bit more. What
That's weird.
Where's that by? Is that it? That's one of the freeways, huh?
Yeah, somewhere over there.
Holy shit. Holy... What? Whoa. What the...
אבל זה יורד למטה.
I think nighttime would be lovely, but is that a UFO? Amazing. Holy shit. Oh, is that cool? You can almost hardly look at it.
We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like never like
Whoa!
We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like
אתה מצלם? אתה רואה?
אני רואה, מה זה?
תגיד, שתינו יותר מדי?
לא, לא, כולנו רואים את זה.
מה זה?
5 עיניים.
שיו!
יואו!
רוד, בלין.
מה זה?
מה זה, אמא?
מה זה, ראית?
יו בנברות.
ראית את זה?
תראה, יש שם עוד.
הנה, תראי שמה. מה זה?
אמא, לדור, אמא.
ג'ודאיזם, מה זה? זה סמלים.
יואו. זה לא אמיתי.
Kick!
In cities across the world, including the capitals of China, Russia, India, Brazil, as well as our European allies, including specifically the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain, and including the Vatican, a total of 103 countries involved, I believe the same basic announcement is being made, some simultaneously, others later, depending on time zone. After consultation with key members of our defense and intelligence community, it has been made clear to me that there is persuasive evidence that the Earth has been and is currently being interacted with by one or more intelligent, non-human species. Despite the issues that disclosure of this fact now obviously raises, I do believe that the people of the United States and the people of Earth have a right to know. I want to emphasize two things immediately. First, there is virtually no evidence at this time that we are under attack. In fact, the opposite seems to be true. To say that we are under some kind of observation seems more accurate. Second, I am, through a separate executive order, creating an Office of Contact Affairs, which will be staffed and funded as a part of our Department of Homeland Security. It has been given the mandate of reporting directly to me about the scope of this current visitation. I have concurrently directed the Attorney General to begin her own investigation into the nature and content of apparent secrecy with which some of these facts have long been held. Because of the need for calm debate, I have taken the precautionary move of making the National Guard available to any state governor who feels that it is needed to keep the public order. In a moment, the Secretary of Defense will address the national security component of the situation, and the Secretary of Commerce will speak directly to the issue of the steps being taken to see that the nation's economy and monetary supply are stable and secure. Now, let me speak directly to our nation's children and young people. It is quite clear that the facts I have confirmed today are disturbing. Like your parents, I'm sure you have many, many questions, and that some of you are scared. Over the weekend, we will be addressing as many of those questions as possible, but I want you to know that you are safe. Your homes are safe. Our nation is safe. We are entering a new era, that much is clear, but we do so with strength and confidence, and an abiding belief that humanity has much to give to other life forms that may exist in this vast universe we live in, and that we also can learn much from these visitors. To the media, the press secretary assures me that you will find full information packets and hard drives with a selection of photos, videos, and reports which I have unclassified through presidential order. The Attorney General will begin a thorough review of other material in consultation with the Congress and the chairs of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees as to what can be released in the future and in what time frame. I ask your patience. The process will be difficult, yet today we begin it together.
I'm going to now read for you the notes of a speech that was written by President John F. Kennedy, which he was going to deliver in a televised address to the nation. That is, until he was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. This is what he would have said. My fellow Americans, people of the world, today we set forth on a journey into a new era. One age, the childhood of mankind, is ending, and another age is about to begin. The journey of which I speak is full of unknowable challenges, but I believe that all of our yesterdays, all of the struggles of the past, have uniquely prepared our generations to prevail. Citizens of this earth, we are not alone. God, in His infinite wisdom, has seen fit to populate His universe with other beings, intelligent creatures such as ourselves. How can I state this with such authority? In the year 1947, our military forces recovered from the dry New Mexico desert the remains of an aircraft of unknown origin. Science soon determined that this vehicle came from the far reaches of space. Since that time, our government has made contact with the creators of this spacecraft. Although this news may sound fantastic and indeed terrifying, I ask you not to greet it with undue fear or pessimism. I assure you as your president that these beings mean us no harm. Rather, they promise to help our nation overcome the common enemies of all mankind: tyranny, poverty, disease, and war. We have determined that they are not foes, but friends. Together with them, we can create a better world. I cannot tell you that there will not be any stumbling or missteps along the road ahead. But I believe that we have found the true destiny of the people of this great land to lead the world into a glorious future. In the coming days, weeks, and months, you will learn more about these visitors, why they are here, and why our leaders have kept their presence a secret from you for so long. I ask you to look to the future, not with timidity, but with courage, because we can achieve in our time the ancient vision of peace on earth and prosperity for all humankind. God bless you.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion.
I think really the government in this country wants to release this information. Military intelligence does, because I know some of them, and I think they are watching what happens in terms of the public's reaction. UFOs buzzed the Capitol on July 19th, 1952, and General Sanford say, look, they're not ours and they're not Russian, we don't know what they are. They're real, they have discussed what to do about it. Vatican intelligence would really like to discuss it. That's the problem here. We need the governments to reveal these files.
These craft that have come here are now not UFOs, they're identified.
People are way ahead of military intelligence.
I think it's time to open the books on questions that have remained in the dark, on the question of government investigations of UFOs. It's time to find out what the truth really is that's out there. We ought to do it really because it's right. We ought to do it because the American people, quite frankly, can handle the truth. And we ought to do it because it's the law.
Disclosure is very close, and the American people need to prepare themselves very soon for an announcement from our government that there is, in fact, an extraterrestrial presence engaging this planet and the human race.
We are encouraging the administration, which has dedicated itself to open and transparent government, to commit the ultimate act of openness and transparency, and to do it immediately at a critical time in the human race's development.
Our challenges may be new,
The instruments with which we meet the demands of the new age may be new. But I will always be honest with you about what we can and must achieve tomorrow. And at this moment, it is only the chance for us to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back to the way things were. It can't happen without you. The task that you're now called to fulfill. And at this moment in history, your generation must seek peace, then align our deepest values and commitments to the demands of a new age. There's new energy to harness, for the world has changed, and we must change with it.
If the starships that John Leonard Walson has captured in deep space are ours, then I am glad we have them out there protecting our planet. What they are protecting us from is thought-provoking, to say the least. These things are enormous. On the other hand, if they are not ours, I wonder who or what is operating them.
There was a fear then that, of something out there. It became a very big concern. Asteroids, UFOs, people coming from other places. Paranoia was also there within the government. You know, at certain levels, you could feel it. You knew it was happening.
Pointed star, a spaceship. This is the zoomed in version. Not much detail yet. New enhancement. Some better focus. The image is still blurred, but in a minute I will show you the full image after enhancement. And I have to tell you that I'm not using any editing software. No Photoshop, no Paint or whatever. The software I use is used in the astronomy and biological world, and especially for microbiology. This is enhanced contrast, and here you can already see some details inside the object. Okay, I removed all reflections and all light, so only the object becomes visible. Now we see a structure. Okay, I did some edge enhancements and noise removal, fixed focus, blur, focusing, and then this is the result. You see a clear shape, three-legged object. Adaptive equalization and some other enhancements, and this is the result. It's clearly a machine or ship with a platform, legs. It's half opaque. So let's zoom in. Now we have some more details. Let's zoom in further. Look at the legs. And as I said, I'm not using Photoshop or any editing software. This is purely enhanced with special software, the special design software. You can clearly see inside of the legs that there are structures. There are levels. And now I hear you thinking, haha, this is something he made himself. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is something I found. I only did the enhancements. And I will show you more in a few minutes. Looks like symbols on top of the platform. It gets better. This is with enhanced focus. Okay, I did some perspective change because I like to show you in a minute what a 3D model looks like. And this is a 3D model, and you will see this later on in the video, because I like to compare this one with another where I found in the Apollo 17 mission. Okay, here we go. AS-17 134-20455, Apollo 17 mission, and the object is very faint, hardly visible. This is the thumbnail. Well, you can hardly see it, but here it is. See? There's the object. Well, it's not much yet, but wait. The objects can also be found on the gateway to astronaut photography of Earth. And there it's a bit more visible. Not very clear though. And there's another website called the Apollo 17 Image Library. And there it is. AS-17 134-20455. So this is a much better image. And let's see what we find here. See, there's just a three-pointed star. Again, the three-pointed star. This is enhanced version. I tried to enhance this one as well, but my software is only suitable for black and white images, so I have to find other software so I can do this enhancement. But you can clearly see there's a platform, there is structure inside the object. This is the 3D model. And watch the shape. And this is the comparison between the object from the Apollo 11 and Apollo 17. Looks pretty much the same, does it?
UFO.
They're here.
Yes, you did.
What? What is that? Oh! What is that?
What is that? ¿Qué pedo, güey? ¿Qué es eso, güey? Mira, mira, mira. Es como si fuera un platillo. Ya.
It's like a boomerang shape.
That's what she said. Oh my
You know what it
goodness.
looks like? It looks like one of those mini airplanes that has the blue lights.
Yeah, but why would they just be cruising around like that?
Right now, but it's moving like all slowly. You see it? It's getting brighter. You see, now it's getting real, real bright. Now it's really, really bright. Huh? It's like kind of towards the south, but it's like kind of towards my house. No, it's not making a sound. It's just quiet, but it's real. It's far off in the distance. It's an object. It's like a shiny blue, like neon object. It'll get bright, then it'll fly across the sky like really, really quick. Like I've never seen no plane or nothing like that fly across one way and fly back the other way.
His lights went out. There it is. Dude, and then the lights go out? What the hell?
Yeah, of course, we thought we're like,
Do you think that's why the helicopter's here?
yeah, it keeps just circling around.
Where'd it go? There it is. Dude, I'd love for it to come like right overhead.
Что же это такое-то, а? Они вверх летят, зараза, да? Ты видишь?
Не могу снять.
Что ж это такое? Глянь, летают вообще вовсю. Потихонечку.
Ну, в Дании. У меня размах.
Над аэропортом они взлетают и начинают
Ну,
так
может,
потихонечку.
все-таки это с аэропорта что-то?
Ну а что это?
Почему по не над аэропортом? Что им? Нужно им на аэропорт приземлиться? Они в какой-нибудь степи? Непонятно.
Хм.
Что это за херня?
Фига.
Не, что это такое?
That's funny. Look, David. David, look. Come and look at it. Look. You see it? You see them? They just materializing. Awesome. I mean, they just growing. Look, David. Look. They're getting bigger. Oh, shut up. Look, look, look. It's getting bigger. Look. You see it? Mm-hmm. It was small. I mean, look. They're just materializing out of the sky. Look. You notice how small they were?
Yeah.
That's amazing. There was no clouds in the sky. Look, them suckers are getting bigger. That's a mystery out here. Awesome. Awesome. Let me see if I can get him in from right here. Okay, let's see, my little doggy. There were no clouds in the sky. No clouds whatsoever. And all of a sudden this little something just started getting bigger and bigger.
I swear, off the recording. Hang on. Right. There's the house. It's strange.
And it's moving inside it. You can see all the smoke like withering.
Yeah, that's what I said. See? Wrong at the bottom bit there.
That is so bizarre.
And the smoke around it. Dad, what do you mean that there's lights in it?
I just saw like some car headlights in it.
So strange.
Aliens! Aliens!
Chloe.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Wait, Mum, who
John,
are
I
you
don't know how to
talking
stop
to?
it now.
Have to drop it down again.
Like nothing in between. What the fuck is it? I'm gonna hold it still. What the fuck is that?
I honestly believe in UFOs, huh?
I'm recording it.
You serious?
Yeah.
You get it good?
That's the stupid lights from the deck. Yeah, I'm getting it good.
They're like invisible.
What the fuck was that?
Call the news.
Huh?
So call the news.
Hey, John. What about your wind when you might see some unidentified flying objects from here?
There's flying saucers out here.
It said there's flying saucers. They're moving.
I know. We came from Roswell. Just kidding.
Как хотели? Что хуйнёвый, че? 10 дядь на хутовоске. Товар ему поведение. Я не, что ты так распакешен. Что?
Слушай, Тата, перевод. Я ешь, Шофар, ешь.
Tot timp cum mai dai eu din ce i-am să ridic, de la policlinica asta.
Ia uitați despre chestia așa. Uite spre noi în centru încoace.
Нихуя себе.
Хер, uite, vezi ceva? Și stele și tine stele. Ia uite stele. Ia uite centru încoace spre noi, spre Iază încoace.
Охуеть.
Cum nu se vede snante și cu tine nu vezi?
Cam ușa să iasă una mai mare.
Ele ajung la voi încolo. Care avionul?
Это не авион.
Ia uite niște lumini așa deasupra, mari, zboară așa.
Să-ți mai dau.
Care avioane? Nu sunt avioane. Câte avioane vă
Да я у
zboară?
тебя еще мультидешки.
Авионы так не светят.
Care trei, sunt o grămadă aici, ia uite, nu sunt 3 electrice, acolo sunt o grămadă.
Все, бля, нападение инопланетян.
Da, ți vezi și încă mai mari, da, mă. Ei, dar fi omul să...
Ia cu ei, ești nebună să uite. Eu văd casa ta, dar tu nu vezi aici. Uite nouă, în sus, în nouă, uite, și nu se vede?
Nu, înainte e cum mă.
Ia cu ei! Inoplanetenii! Eu noi urmărim de când! Cheamă-l, să nu cazi, cheamă-l!
Da, el a mușcat pe antrenă.
Перепад температур как раз вот и получается такое природное явление, раздвоение Солнца. Такой эффект я наблюдаю.
Question.
Yes.
It's regarding the idea of death on this planet.
Death, yes.
Yes. Not only would I like to talk about what choices do we have after death, what do we do over there, where do we go?
Whatever you want.
Okay, well, I'd like to discuss that.
Oh,
and then,
all right.
And then, of course, you know, on this planet, when someone dies,
yes.
it's probably the worst fear we have.
Yes,
and,
one of them.
And
in actual fact, I believe fear of public speaking is worse on a list of phobias of humanity.
Well, I've conquered that one.
Obviously.
I'm sitting here. But I'd like to know, what is it about our attitude that we fear death, and instead of looking at it as just a transformation into the next,
yes.
we grieve and we have such ceremony. And what do you do on your planet when you die?
Celebrate.
Do you celebrate? Okay.
And also, please remember, we are still in communication with that being.
Yes.
We understand there really is no disconnection. We understand it is just a transition, and we also have the ability to continue to communicate with them in their different state.
Okay.
So do you, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But because of thousands of years of ritualization and the experience of disconnection, not real disconnection,
Mm-hmm.
but the creation of the experience of disconnection, the personality structure assumes that death means annihilation. And so you mourn the idea. You are afraid in general of the idea because you think it's the end of your identity, when in fact it's actually the expansion into more of yourself. You become more of who you are in death. Physical reality, in a sense, is more like death than death is, because you place so many limitations on yourself. And from the spirit point of view, again, not judgmentally, physical reality is the more dead-like state. So, the idea is that most of the grieving, while you may have it if you wish, not going to take anything away from you, if that feels appropriate, then allow yourself to do so. But generally it comes from feeling like you are being left behind. You're actually mourning for yourself.
Right.
Because you understand innately somewhere that the other being that has died has gone on to a more expanded state, and you also yearn for that as well. Yearn to remember that. Yearn to remember that's who you are. And in that sense, feel that that death has reminded you that you have placed limitations on yourself, and so the grieving is actually for you. Nevertheless, you are getting to a point where you are beginning to understand that the concept of physical death is just a transition. You don't have to lose touch with anybody at all. And as you begin to understand that more and more, you will be able to continue to communicate with those beings in a very clear manner. You understand?
Yes.
Now, upon the idea of expansion into death, most individuals on your planet will feel it or experience it in general as if they are waking up from a dream. Because that is the real reality as far as they are concerned, and the idea of the physical life doesn't carry the same degree of importance per se. It literally is the way you feel when you wake up from a dream and say, oh, this is my real reality, and then the dream just sort of fades off, except whatever pieces may remain that you feel are important for you to remember. Death is like that with regard to physical reality. You wake up and suddenly remember who you are and that you are having this physical dream. You understand?
Yes.
And that's why most individuals don't really actually, shall we say, hang around and try to make contact. Because physical reality, again, is not so real from that point of view anymore. They understand they still may have loved ones in physical reality. And they can communicate, and often do. But the overwhelming feeling is that you're actually waking up into your true reality. And the idea of physical reality becomes, to some degree, with a few exceptions, all of a sudden a secondary concern that isn't as real. Does that make sense?
That makes great sense.
From that point there forward, you have the ability to recognize that there are different gradations of non-physical reality in which you can still experience many things according to your consciousness that feel like physical experiences even though you may no longer be physical. You can actually create cities, houses, all sorts of landscapes that seem very tangible and can be experienced in a very tangible way. But the difference would be is that there really isn't the same idea of space-time, and so in that reality, what you imagine, what you think, is almost instantaneously created. You understand?
Yes.
So, you can actually still have many kinds of experiences in the non-physical reality that are very similar to the idea of physical reality, and there are people in non-physical reality who even form neighborhoods, communities, cities, all sorts of things, because they gravitate to each other because of their vibration. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
You can also function as a guide if you wish. You can go on to other realities if you wish. You can explore other dimensions if you wish. It really is up to you. And in fact, it's even up to you to return, in a sense, to the life you just left and continue on from where you left off. When you die, you still have a choice to keep on living. Until you make the choice to actually go all the way into non-physical reality, you actually are given the choice to simply go back and pick up where you left off and, in a sense, forget that you actually died, or maybe remember it as a dream, or just some funny kind of glitch in your reality that you don't quite understand how you made it alive through that accident, but obviously you did. Well, in fact, actually, you didn't. But when you died, you were still given the opportunity. Would you like to go back and continue? Yes, thank you, please. All right, there you go. And you pick up from where you left off on the other side of the accident, wondering and scratching your head how you possibly could have made it out of that alive. Well, again, you didn't. Many of you have died many times. You just don't remember.
Right.
But you are given an opportunity and a choice, even then, to pick up the life and keep on going. Now, in a sense, what you're actually doing is you're creating another parallel reality. But you're creating a sense of continuity to such a degree that it seems like it's the same life that you're continuing. It doesn't matter, in effect. You can still have the same ideas, the same goals, the same friends, same feelings, all of it. Although, of course, there's usually something left behind that makes you feel suddenly a little bit different than you did before when you go through an experience like that. You follow me?
Yes.
Is this answering your question sufficiently?
Yes, very helpful. Thank you.
Yes. And of course, that's just the beginning.
Of a movement, and I've seen the Earth change.
Yes.
I started learning about it from my aunt and different things, and then my ancestry, where I come from, the Hopi, have prophecies of the land shifting and time changing. I had a very specific dream just before I came to Los Angeles. And most of you don't know this, but y'all were in it. I dreamt about each one of you before I saw you, and that's why every time I see you guys perform, or sometimes I can't speak and sometimes I cry, because you were all in this dream. And the Hopi and the Aztec call it the children of the fifth sun, where we're moving towards this next world. And the 2012 phenomenon and the collapsing point.
Although, of course, there are a few different kinds of interpretations and many different ideas that are connected to those notions other than just the popular ones, shall we say.
Would you like to expand on that?
Well, there are a few different things we can share. One thing we have already told many of you is that the threshold that you call 2012 is simply the leading edge of the collective consciousness crossing critical mass threshold. The idea being that on the other side of that particular moment in time, there will be more positive momentum on the planet than negative. You follow me? Now, what you do with that is still up to you, but it will be available to you because the collective consciousness on your planet, like the leading edge of a wave, will be such that you can dip into that more easily, more effortlessly. We have also mentioned that for a long time, many thousands of your years, with respect to your relationship to extraterrestrial societies such as our own, your planet has been in a type of, shall we say, hands-off quarantine, where we are not allowed to interfere in any way, shape, or form with your development. After 2012, the quarantine is up. Now, that doesn't mean we're all going to land our ships the next day. What it does mean, however, is that we could, depending upon what you do on your planet, we will no longer be held back by the quarantine. We will only be taking our cue from that point forward from the actions you all take and the kind of reality you all choose to create. You follow me? So that's a couple of other things that go along with that kind of timing. And so, the way in which you experience this transition, again, is really up to you. Please remember, there are an infinite number of parallel realities all going on simultaneously. It's not in a sense that you actually change the world you are in. It's that you change your frequency to be like that of the world you prefer to experience, and then experience that parallel Earth that already exists on that level. It may look as if everything around you has changed, but in fact, it's you that have changed, and in a sense have shifted yourself to a world in which there already exist the versions of the other people that are germane to that world, that are on the same frequency of that world. Those that are not on that frequency will no longer appear in your reality. They will simply vanish from your life one way or another. As time goes on, even though right now you are still in a collective agreement that allows you to experience many people who have belief systems that are very different from your own, maybe even very incompatible with the frequency that you prefer, in time, this will no longer be possible. The idea will be that those people will simply phase out of your reality. They will remain in the reality in which their frequency is appropriate. And you will have vanished from their reality. Oh, I wonder whatever happened to so-and-so. They're on another Earth, having their own experience based on the frequency they most believed would occur. So when you go through these transitions, when you look at the idea of change on your planet, remember, many of the things that are prophesied are statements that were made at the time of the energy that existed at the time the prophecy was made. Because there really is no such thing as a prediction of the future. A prediction is a sensing of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made. If that changes, the prediction is obsolete. If it doesn't, it comes true, as you say. But it's up to you. Many times, hearing the prediction is what causes it to change. Because now you can do something about it. The person making the prediction is saying, look, this is where our energy is. Do we want it to stay here, or do we want to change it? Do we want to experience the transition this way or this way? Up to you. Let's get it all out on the table. This is what we perceive. Now you decide how you want to experience this transformation. What kind of relationship do you want to have with each other and with your world and with the spirits and with all that is? How do you want to experience this reality? Who do you want to be? And that's what determines what you will experience. And you can even, for a time, be standing right next to someone who chooses to experience the transformation in a very destructive, scary, fearful way. And you can be standing right next to them and not experience anything that they're experiencing at all. At all. You follow me?
Yes.
Does this help illuminate some of what you are discussing?
Yes.
It's a nice day today, Claudia? Yeah, you can see the mountain really clear. It was better earlier today, though, yeah? It was. It's windy, too. It's really windy, too. Where? What do you mean? The sky? Oh my god, what the heck is that? What is that? Where'd it go? Oh my god, I want to film that again. I didn't know what the heck that was. What was that? Where? Did it go? What the heck was that?
Good day, Bashar.
And who you good day.
My question today is on neutrality.
Neutrality.
Yes. You have mentioned that there is no right or wrong, nor good or bad, but instead negative and positive.
That which integrates, that which segregates.
Yes, which also can be stated as lower and higher vibrations. Negative being lower and positive being higher.
In a sense, yes, because it is integrative, thus exponential in that sense, whereas segregational is compartmentalization, which in that sense causes detachment and disconnection.
Yes, thank you. What I see neutrality as is a tool that allows absolute choice to choose what you prefer at all moments.
Yes, and thus you can understand, as we have said, that the universe is actually slightly oriented to the positive.
Yes,
because neutrality allows you to choose, which is a positive state of being. So in that sense, technically speaking, just to use some arbitrary numbers, the universe is actually 51% positive and 49% negative. Because the middle point, the neutral point, is not actually totally, absolutely neutral. Neutral in and of itself, by definition, affords you a choice, and that's positive.
Thank you. Well, my question is neutrality used to aid one to enlightenment, and is it in the aiding? I just
told you it was.
Well, I mean, is it in the aiding from third to fourth, and when one completely understands neutrality and is in a neutral state, does one ascend?
Depends on what you mean by ascend. It always uplifts your frequency, but if you're not done with your physical theme, you will not become non-physical, if that's what you mean, until you're done.
Well, does your society and beings on higher densities, do they still use neutrality?
Always. That is primarily what is used.
But are you only in bliss and there's no moments for you to use neutrality because there's no negativity for you to see?
In a sense, you might put it this way. Neutrality is the lowest state we ever go into.
So exactly. So for us to master it, then we will ascend.
Yes. Which simply means you will shift upward to whatever degree is appropriate for you at that particular moment.
Okay. You have mentioned to me before that there's a certain way of experiencing it, which was in a neutral bubble as an observer.
Yes.
How many different levels of neutrality are there?
There is only one.
Okay, so in that bubble, as seen an observer, seen from that view, is that one level?
If you are asking if neutrality can be experienced from different levels, the answer is yes. But neutrality itself does not, in a sense, exist in different levels. It is a level, in a sense, or a place, in a sense, or a vibration, in a sense, that any level can tap into.
Rodovia Marechal Rondon, e olha, dessa nuvem, Nilessa, a gente vê algum objeto por ali, né?
É um objeto voador não identificado. Ele fica parado no ar, então, e de repente a gente vai observar daqui um pouquinho, algumas luzes vão começar a aparecer, alguns pontos luminosos que vão cair.
Esse trecho aí seria na rodovia Marechal Rondon, em Agudos, no trecho entre Agudos e Lençóis Paulistas, na pista quem está no sentido Bauru-Botucatu.
Eles estão dentro do carro com uma câmera e de repente sentem o tremor de terra, param, descem do carro. Foi nessa situação que eles
olha só, esse
filmaram.
É o principal do vídeo, né?
Então os pontos luminosos caem por ali.
E esse vídeo já foi acessado mais de 1.300.
William, chcę paradzi fotograficzną jakoś można przybliżać, ale ja to nie wiem. O cholera, on jest coraz bliżej nas. No pokaż mi go.
No to weź, ona gdzieś tam jest.
No jak nie zaczyna skakać.
Może to parasol?
No to wygląda jak taki...
Ale parasol tak nie lata.
Nie parasol, tylko wygląda jak spadochron.
Bo to nie jest balon, bo to jest koniec, zobacz. To ma 8 okon, to jest 6 okon. Czy 6? To się jakby unosi, ale kurna gdzie?
No, tam na końcu zwisa. Tak, zobacz, na pewno.
Jak to zwisa?
To jest do tego przyczepione już do celu.
disco voador criado pelo mesmo artista passou pela Polônia. Foi visto por 200 mil moradores da cidade de Gdansk. Tá ali na altura do Leme, voltando para a gente ter uma imagem melhor dele. Esse disco voador, ele não voa sozinho não, ele é puxado por um helicóptero.
Ah, bom.
E esse helicóptero, a gente não consegue ver, mas é essa mesmo a ideia, né? As pessoas ficam realmente encantadas, tiram muitas fotos. Essa ilusão de que realmente um disco voador funciona perfeitamente, né? E se a ideia do artista é brincar com isso, a gente pode pensar que se tivesse um ET ali, ele estaria vendo o Rio de Janeiro numa noite linda.
Ja, het is een parachute. Denk ik. Hij zit wel hoog, een parachute. Dit is wel heel bijzonder, hè? Ja. Eens komen kijken. Hoe is het nu? Ja, we gaan. Kom op jongens, we moeten verder.
Baz. Come on, that's it. Come on. There's my little kid. Oh, where you going, baby? Going out hunting, eh? Come, come down here. Cheeky little cut. God, he's cute. What the fuck? Holy shit! You fucking see that? No way. Fuck off. What the fuck? It disappeared. Holy fucking crap. Shit off. No, fuck off. It's got a fucking red thing. Fuck off. Fuck, I can see it. Holy shit. Fuck off. No way. I'm in it. No way. Fuck that. Fucking go on. Fuck this. I'm gonna get it. Stay there, cat. Stay there. No way. Fuck off. Oh shit. Oh shit. Fuck me. Hello? Oh fuck. No. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck this. No way. I'm going. No, it's there again. Fuck off. It's just fucking coming up. Holy shit. I want to stay out of the fucking red thing. Fuck off. No fucking way. No fucking way. It's better.
There it is, a UFO. And look at that. So
a very energetic object.
These are the actual UFO sightings that we're having in Mexico City, among other things. But wait, because what you are going to see next is extremely weird and bizarre. Jaime and I are very disconcerted. But this is another fleet.
This is another fleet, 5 of December.
Black objects. Maybe in this fleet happens the same thing, that the sun is on the back.
The sun is on the other side. When the
That's
sun
why
is
you
on the
can
other
see,
side,
yes.
they look black.
But as you can see, the formation all the time is preserved, no mistake, and the UFO
And now,
fleet. But wait.
As Santiago said, this is really, really weird.
You know, this sighting, we are very disconcerted by this thing in the sky.
What is this?
We don't know how to call it. Just watch carefully, and it's morphing itself. What can it be? This is in Mexico City. A video by one of our most respected sky watchers. But look, the lights and the strange dark, like cloud or like strange substance around. I mean, these are the kind of sightings that we are having now in Mexico.
It's like a cloud with and it has energy inside, or what? Or what?
And it's huge.
It's right here.
Dude, it's right there. Look at it. No, freaking.
¿Verdad? Acércalo poco a poco, guajón. ¿Verdad?
Oh, wow, that was cool. You seen it? Yeah. See there? We got something coming in the atmosphere like a satellite or something. Yeah. Something coming through the atmosphere, just breaking up.
Yeah, getting out of it.
What would they be?
I don't know. They could be like balloons setting down flares or something.
It's so weird.
There's a red one right there. There's two red ones there, and they keep
They're
dropping these
dropping
white
flares.
things.
What is it?
It's an UFO.
Oh, nice.
See, there's a red. Can you see the red one?
Yeah.
Right there, and then two red ones there.
They might drop another
What are
one.
they, really?
I have no idea what they are.
And they're just like sitting there. That's weird.
You know, if I'm an alien, I'm not going to put red lights on my craft because we'd be staring at it. So it's probably something else. But they keep dropping these
well,
white things.
Well, you know, I did just watch Men in Black. Well, look, that one dropped it.
Oh yeah, see, he's dropping a red, white something. They're probably bombs heading towards my home.
Oh, well, we're all dead.
I should not be filming this. White
Just
over
about
there.
to die. Yes, I did.
I wonder if there are people doing their Halo.
Maybe the Russians are using blimps.
But they're not moving.
Yeah, they're moving slowly.
But
I don't know.
what is it? I don't know. That is a big. That's. And it's
And I don't hear any noise, so it's not like a helicopter. Unless it's up there really high. It's probably a helicopter up really high.
Dropping what?
Dropping, I don't know, sparklers.
It could be flares. I mean, it could be GPS
Well,
tracers.
it wouldn't be a helicopter because it'd be moving faster.
Because look, there's that.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
one. And that one has a. That one has the same like.
Oh, those are planes
size,
over there.
It could be people doing their Halo training. But But I don't see why they would be
Halo training.
Halo training. It's some military stuff where they take you up really stinking high in the air and you jump out. But it has to be dark. Usually they do it not over places like this.
So
We
there's
have to
3 red
jump
lights.
A certain height, and then you have to drop
Dropping
from
little
above
white
radar level
sparklers.
and then float and then.
dat er echt dingen, dat er dingen bestaan.
Hoe kan dat nou
Brad, UFO. Coming in pretty quickly though.
See how all three lights seem to be aligned.
Wait, hold on. There it is. I'm trying to hold still. It's hard. It's moving so quickly.
Look at there's two little ones on the outside and then a big one in the middle.
これ消えた？消えた。どこ行くの？
いるいる。すげえ早いよ。何の会なんだ。
UFO 鑑賞会。
見えない会。
本当もういいよいいよいいよ。いろいろ体改造しちゃって。もう消えた。
どうしよう、僕たち UFO 遅刻してしまうよ。
まあそうだね。まあでも言い訳はできるよ。だって UFO なんだもん。
映像がね、あるからね。
まあでもこうちゃん結婚式だから行こうや。
よし、じゃあ UFO どころじゃねえや。
すみません。
まあ UFO もすごかったけど、はい、皆さん、はい、UFO と何ショットでも UFO でした。
2008年、2009年1月11日
UFO でした。
弁天と UFO でした。
以上中継
Esto es un globo.
Para arriba, para arriba.
Ahora voy a enfocar el ovni.
¿Ustedes lo ven? Ay, mira. Yo como no veo nada de Liana. Ay, mamá, ¿cómo que no va? Ay, mamá, tan cerquita. ¿A dónde? ¿A dónde? ¿A dónde? Para abajo. Ah, esperando ahí para mirarlo, ay, mirarlo, del balcón, Dorian, vaya al balcón. Abre la puerta, Dorian, para que vaya al balcón, vale.
Vamos a ver este otro objeto volador.
I can't believe this. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God.
Вот она висит. Уже где-то, уже несколько секунд она висит. Вот максимальное увеличение. Что же это? О! О! Что же это? Попробуй подойти поближе. Так, толку мало. Летит, висит, пошатываясь. Почему она пошатывается? Что это? Вот буквально над тем оврагом. Вот максимальное увеличение.
You got a space station in the sky.
There's something underneath it.
Sometimes, man, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, something's following it. Something's following the space station.
Hello.
It's like the other one that we saw.
Follow that guy right here. Well, that is bright. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. That's what's up. Get him, guys.
Yeah, there's something chasing it underneath.
It's a race. Chase him down. Hey, you got his tail. Pull over.
Okay. We've got live at each city space station flying over and something following it. Both of them are fading. Both of them are fading. Fading. Fading.
Whoa. Holy shit, it just changed.
Co to jest? UFO? Ale trzeba krzyczeć. A gdzie? Nie wszystkie. Ej, patrz, ten ma czarne i ten ma czarne. Ej, nie? Ty to tak cicho. Trzeci ma czarny, zobacz. One gasną i lecą na dół. Pa, leci na dół prawie. Ej, zobacz, to przy tym robi i spada.
A ty zobacz,
Phenomenon is caught on camera. Zooming in and slowing down the film, something really astonishing is revealed. A smaller second light seems to appear from underneath, joining the main light. Is something collected by the light? Landings were also reported, and even solid proof was found of Earth samples being taken in the midst of nowhere. Here, a 2 hours walk from the nearest dirt road, a 2-ton piece of wet turf has been cut out with laser precision, lifted and placed a few meters away. No sign of machinery nor people.
UFO だ絶対。もろ UFO。本当に UFO。マジで見て見て、この状態で見て。エニワンエニワンエニワン。
この状態ってのは
超 UFO の形。
ちょっとわかんないどこだ。
ちょっと一回ズームアウトしてから見てみそう。今撮ってます。撮ってるよね。絶対 UFO。
嘘だ。
本当だって。ちょっと僕もグレー星人に住んでるってな。
おーい。
UFO でしょ？UFO でしょ？明日降りる道取った？明日降りる道取った？ UFO だべ？UFO だべ？
ノーカットでみんなにビデオ作るから。ノーカット？ちょっとな。
あ、まだ今あれ撮るのやめちゃったけど、あれ三角印が動いてると撮ってるってこと？
全く消えた？
あら、小さくなってる時ところ撮るの忘れたよ。誰止めちゃったの？
あ、俺。
もうが
三角が出てると撮ってるから。
なんだよもう丸くん。
もう消えてる？
いやまだ小さく見えてる。これ多分そうだな。あ、もう動かなくなっちゃったけど。ギリギリ見えてる。どんどん小さくてとこ撮りたかったのに。
Lo que vieron esta noche, un objeto volador se mantuvo estático por unos 10 minutos encima de una vivienda en el sector de Villa Francisca.
Cerro, ¿eh? Va a bajar en el cerro y la... Órale, cabrón. Ahí está en el cerro, ¿ya lo viste? No manches. Está chido esta toma.
Sigue bajando ya.
Ahí está, ya está suspendida.
Va a subir.
Ya va a subir otra vez, ajá.
Siga.
Wow, those aren't birds. Why would they all appear white?
Azuna Yama. はい。そこに
須田さんっていう方がお友達と一緒に。
あれが UFO ですか？
あれすごいです。
あれ何ですか？あ、終わった。
終わったんじゃなくて、画面が乱れちゃって。この UFO を撮った次の日、撮ったカメラが壊れてしまったんです。
これが木下氏が予想する光の正体。機体の下からオレンジ色の光を出し、その場にとどまり続ける UFO。大きさはおよそ150メートル。
It starts right here. It's a UFO. It hasn't been altered or sped up in any way. You can hear him talking in the background. Explain it.
Lights are flashing like crazy. Are you getting this on tape?
Oh my God!
Wow, I think it's a
There he is! See it? Right there! Oh my God! Oh no! You like that? Look, there it is. It's moving now. See it? Oh my God!
Look at him changing.
Just look, watch. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, those things are fucking wild. It's blue and red.
Yes, I know. Look. I don't holy shit.
Dude,
Look, Taylor, look.
This is
watch.
Freaky, dude. She's calling her fucking dad over there.
I know. Dude, this is insane.
You can't call your...
Look how far.
Mom?
Hold on. Look, it just
Taylor Gazelle high.
Hold on, it just disappeared.
One
There's
of them
the other one.
it just completely
Can I talk to her?
No, watch.
Hold on, Mom. Taylor wants to talk to you.
Hello.
Oh my God, that's so
Taylor,
crazy.
I don't think it's moving because nuts. I'm filming it. Look, watch.
What are you doing up so late?
She answered because of me.
What are you doing up so late?
Look, Taylor, look at it. Look.
Hey,
holy Taylor, look at it, Taylor.
You're on mute. Hello? Sorry, it was on mute.
It's blue, now it's white and red.
Hello?
Look.
That's white.
What are you doing up so late?
Look at this shit, Taylor. Oh my
Can you see the
god.
things
Oh
we're
my
seeing
god.
outside?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Can you really see them?
Oh, wow. Oh my god.
Can she see them too?
Mom.
This is not happening.
They're like,
Look.
one just like went underneath houses and then just came up. I swear
This is
to God,
not
this
happening.
So creepy.
This is
We're
not
on
happening.
any trip
And we're
drugs.
not on anything.
Look
We're
at
not,
that.
I'm not even drunk right
Look.
now. Ryan's pretty
Look.
drunk, but
I know, that's crazy.
yeah, we're
Are they
filming
not-
it. Ryan's been filming it for forever right now.
Get
Me
the
and Ryan are the only ones that are like freaking
Get the
out.
fuck out of here. Look, look.
Ryan's
look.
stoned too, but it's all good.
Oh my god.
My mom goes, I bet he's really freaking out if he's
No,
stoned.
no. I'm freaking out so bad right now.
We're like watching it, like, you know, like how airplanes like just fly. These
No,
are like
these are-
hovering up and down.
No, in changing
straight
colors.
up and down and
It is
changing
ridiculous.
colors.
Oh, look at that shit.
Oh my god, Mom, this is so
Look
crazy.
at that crap. That is insane.
He's gonna post it on YouTube tomorrow, and you have to watch it.
This is nuts.
Oh my god.
Look at this.
They're like,
Look.
they're going straight up and down and like flying everywhere.
Oh, that is nuts. Look at that.
Oh my god, Mom, this is so creepy.
Look.
Like, I can't
Just
stop.
dropping.
I cannot stop watching this. I wish you were here right now. You would be freaking out because I don't believe in it. Like, one of them just completely disappeared behind houses. We have no idea where it went.
I don't, this is insane. This is nuts.
Mom. Oh my god.
This
I'm,
is
like,
really
freaking
not
out. I don't
happening.
believe in this stuff, but I'm like,
Look at that, look at that, look at that.
I'm like watching it.
Just come
It looks
up.
like they're gonna land
Look.
somewhere.
They want to land somewhere right now. That is nuts.
It's like they're getting closer to us.
That is
too. That's
nuts.
what's so creepy. Do you believe in this stuff, Mom?
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I completely agree. But I mean, like,
Look at that. That is nuts. This is not happening.
like they're getting closer to us and they're dropping low and like
Look at
going over
that.
houses and stuff. Yes.
No, we're not near an
We have-
airbase.
w-
We haven't. We have the core, but
No, we have a freaking air. We have one.
wait. No, but look at that. That is not.
We have one.
That is
It's
not.
right by my
That is
house.
not real. That is not
I feel
real.
like we should go drive and go find where this is.
I'm not going over there. Look at that.
Mom. I'm tripping out right now. I wish I was wasted so I wasn't watching this. I'm
Look,
freaking out.
look, Jenny. Oh
Nothing
my
flies like
god.
this.
Oh my god.
you're gonna
Look,
see
it
this
is
video
so
and you're gonna
close.
freak out.
It is getting so
You can
close
see
to
them
us right
changing
now.
colors on the video.
Look, you can see it. It's getting so close right now.
I'm gonna make Ryan email this to you.
Do you people shooting at him?
Okay, I love you.
There's
Are you
people
asleep?
shooting at him right now. I just heard a shotgun go off.
Oh my god, Mom, this is freaking crazy.
Look at that.
They're like they're doing these things like where they're they're going up and down and they're hovering and they're doing things that helicopters and anything can't. And we would
Look at that. Look at that. Just go straight up and down like.
They're just going completely like straight up and down.
That is nuts.
And they were like right next to each other.
Look,
There's a
look,
helicopter
and they're
came to
changing
them.
colors.
Right now,
It is
they're right next to each other.
ridiculous. Look at that. That is nuts. That is so nuts.
Ryan, is there something in my beer? Is there something in our beer
No,
that
look
made
at
us
this.
do this?
I heard a shotgun. I heard a shotgun go
He heard a
off.
shotgun and try to kill him. They're like, God, this is so crazy. Do you hear the
Oh.
dogs?
Yeah, the dogs are barking like crazy
Mom,
right now.
This is insane. We're about to be. Oh my god.
Look at that. Look at that.
They're like.
Look
they're
at
like
that.
hovering right above houses right now.
That is. Oh my god. Look at that. Look
I really
at
hope
that.
someone really smart from A&M just invented something really weird and they're like flying them around.
No, that is.
But these are like
Look,
super
look
bright
at
and they're
these.
completely changing colors.
That is.
And they
No.
look like it. They have like 3 spotlights on the front of them. Front of it.
I can't even see it so bright, but I see like 3 lines.
They look like birds in the sky.
Look at that. Look.
not
Now
an
it's just
airplane,
going
though, 'cause
up.
airplanes don't move like that.
And they don't. Yes.
And an airplane wouldn't just be hovering in the same freaking spot.
No. Look at that.
You know?
Look at that.
And neither would a helicopter.
Look
A
at
helicopter would
that.
change colors.
Look at the dog. You can hear the dogs barking.
Mom, I'm freaking out. I don't believe in this stuff. This is like making me crazy. I'm not going home. Brian, I'm staying with you. This isn't happening. Oh
Look at that. And they're coming back together. Look at that.
Like, they're flying the exact same height as houses right now.
Dude, no. Oh my god.
Look! Look how close it is to all those houses. It's gonna land, dude. It's gonna freaking land.
Okay. Do something, you idiot.
I wish the other one was out.
I think
Maybe
that's
it landed.
No, look, there we go.
I think it's coming closer.
Look at it, it's moving.
Looks like it's going down a little bit.
I feel like it's like getting closer. We should go find it.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Now it's blue.
That is tripping me out. That is tripping me out.
Joe!
Bless you.
It's changing colors like crazy.
Look at it. I don't understand that at all.
Isn't that weird?
That is, it's honestly like blowing my fucking mind right now.
We should like send that to like KSAT tomorrow.
I can get on TV for this.
Just put it on Twitter.
I mean, look at that, dude. That is insane. What the fuck is that?
I wish they were both of them like just flying right next to each other, or hovering, whatever they're doing.
We're not even near the airport, so it can't be.
I know it's impossible.
It's
Look at it.
coming
Look at
closer.
it.
Like I swear to God, like it's right there.
Looks like a plane.
Dude, look at it, dude.
Like a little.
No, look at it. It is coming closer, dude. Holy shit.
I have a shower.
Andy, you good day. One moment.
Yes.
Are you all awake?
Yes.
Just checking. Please continue.
Thank you, first and foremost, for sharing this experience with us.
Thank you for sharing it with us as well. Remember, there are 227 million of my people listening in.
This thing on? Okay. Wow, okay.
No pressure.
No pressure. No. Got it.
But because we are all telepathically bonded and we know it, we all, to some degree, relevant to our individual lives, are picking up on what is going on in these interactions, because these are the first steps of making contact with your world.
Yeah. This is great. I gotta say, this is my highest excitement.
What is?
This moment, following where this moment's going, is I'm in it. I'm in it entirely.
Oh,
I'm like jittery up here. But
jittery.
Yes. Anyway, I've been tuned into you through a friend like 2 months ago, and I've been listening basically every day, several hours. It's just amazing, the information.
All right.
And I'm now at the phase where I'm now applying this information.
Thank you.
And so, in following my highest excitement,
Yay.
I am basically eliminating, or, well, maybe...
Acting on what?
Acting on every moment that excites me the most, and leaving behind things that no longer fit my definition of what excitement is.
All right, and all of you make sure, because you know some of the beliefs that exist you within your upbringing will cause you to sometimes define something as not exciting that might be, or vice versa.
Right. I'm also
so be clear of your definitions before you let something go, because you may sometimes be letting go the very thing you actually need to do.
Right. I'm also seeing those challenges or those things that I don't see as exciting as,
well, redefining those as not blocks or not...
Yes. Some of them are truly things that you may not prefer, but learn to know the difference between those things that are truly not your preference and things that you may simply be defining as not your preference because you may have a fear of going in that direction.
Absolutely. In fact, instead of looking at that as a fear, I see it as a curiosity now.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. With that, I've made some very, what would be considered historically to be drastic changes in my lifestyle, which is basically to leave a job behind that I don't like and go in pursuit of things that I do like.
Yes. Now, as a reminder, before you continue, you all must also take a moment to honor whatever belief systems you do have within you, because it doesn't help you to jump off a cliff if you don't believe you have a parachute.
Ego negotiations. Absolutely.
Yes.
Ego negotiations. Absolutely. That's
all right.
Yes. Absolutely. That's helped me so much in listening to that dialogue that you had sometime in the past.
Thank you for assuaging your ego.
Right, right. So my thing is,
because you have to jump altogether. You cannot exclude, in that sense, any part of yourself.
Right.
Growth is the product of inclusion, not exclusion.
Right. Everyone goes together.
Everyone goes together. As you say on Earth, no one is left behind.
Right.
So you may choose to leave things behind, but not a part of yourself is left behind.
Okay. Absolutely. So, the span that you're talking about, 2010 to 2015, is quite clear for me because, in fact, the beginning, the day, January 1st, 2010, things really I became aware of things that were now going in motion toward self-expansion, awareness, growth, and
expansion.
Yes.
The span.
Right. So, I mean, where we find ourselves currently in this moment.
Yes.
And
where do you find yourself?
Where we, as a collective consciousness, now are moving towards, I guess.
Yes. You guess?
Yes.
You're guessing?
No, I'm not guessing.
Thank you.
No. How it relates to 2012, and I guess
the splitting prism.
The splitting prism, right? And once we cross that threshold,
yes.
When you talk about, are you talking about like sort of a crystallization of a theme that will be quite clear and
to some, so to others it may not.
If I choose to live in fear,
yes.
Let's say I choose to deny my true self,
which is the same thing as living in fear.
Right, absolutely. But if I were to go down that path,
don't be redundant, he said again.
Right. Would I then experience only a very, very difficult, murky reality that will reflect
whatever vibration you choose to lock onto after a certain point will continue to crystallize and reinforce itself until such time as you may find you are incapable of experiencing anything else.
As opposed to now, where we have the opportunity to essentially fluctuate between all these different sort of states of being?
You see, the issue is not that you won't have choice. The issue is that you will get to a point where you don't know anymore that you have choice.
So the mere fact that we are all here in this moment...
Yes, well, some of you are.
Could it be said that you couldn't necessarily go back into the darkness?
It is highly improbable that you will.
Okay.
Nothing is impossible.
Right.
We deal in probability.
Okay.
So it is highly improbable that if we are having this conversation and you are present for it, it is highly improbable you will go all the way back into the darkness to the degree that you may have started from. Right. It doesn't mean, however, still at this point, because the decisions and choices are still up to you, that you will necessarily go as far forward as you may wish. Okay. It's still up to you to decide to let go of things that really have nothing to do with your frequency.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, absolutely, yes, it does.
Does that address the situation you wished to discuss?
It does. I also had a question about people like Terence McKenna, who unraveled the I Ching and created something called the time wave zero.
Yes.
And the work of people who've done, you know, the math on breaking down the Mayan calendar.
Yes.
And how it all sort of comes to this
Yes.
balance point. That is the threshold, and
the threshold crossing is an indication of a leading edge of your collective consciousness and a shift that you are going through in general, whereas after that point, the collective energy of your entire society will be slightly more positive than negative after that time.
Until that time, are there any, I know that a prediction would be only the current
sensing of the energy that
right,
exists
of
at the
what
moment.
exists now, but what are we looking forward to the next 2 years, kind of, you know, what, I mean, you know, what could we, I'm already seeing a decrease in, like, questioning
more and
governmental
more
authority.
and more and more deconstruction of what doesn't work.
To the point.
More and more and more and more implementation of new systems to replace them, at first seemingly slowly, staying in the shadows, but eventually you will find that when the old systems begin to crumble, there will be new systems that will be there to take their place if, and only if, the people wish them to do so.
And at this current time in the sensing, would you say that the people would go with that positivity? They will?
Well, you must understand that there is a caveat. The people that are going to go with it are the people that will go with it.
Okay, so, right.
The people that aren't, won't.
And what happens to them is they essentially live out that experience
on an Earth, a parallel reality Earth, that is vibrationally commensurate to the experience they believe they would have. And it will be literally a different Earth than all the other Earths.
And they will.
There are already in existence, concurrently with yours, parallel reality Earths that have already long since annihilated themselves, as you call it.
And have long since evolved to the point.
And some that have long since evolved to what you would call a heaven on earth status. They all exist now. They all exist. It's up to you to decide to experience the one that is most commensurate with the vibration of your preference.
Cool. So I never have to do anything that, I mean, once I confront everything as to the best of my capabilities.
As soon as you confront everything you chose to confront in this physical life, you will die.
Okay. All right.
Then you will move to another reality. Right. You will focus on the idea of your continued experience from there and decide what you wish to do at that point.
Okay.
Again, linearly speaking.
Right. This is awesome. I got my seat buckled. I'm on for the ride. This is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Death is not a necessary rule in this kingdom. It is far easier to take the body with you. Then you never have to be born again through the birth canal and come into a consciousness which regretfully does not accept your memory. All who have passed from this plane and want to come back into this level are waiting for entities to bring forth children. Those who have given forth offspring in lives past always have genetic patterns of life, what you term parents, through which they can return. Most will choose parents who are familiar to them, entities who have been children or parents to them in other lives. Yet there are entities who choose parents that they do not know, only because they provide a vehicle through which to express on this plane. For some, there is often no vehicle to come through when they desire to return, and they may have to wait hundreds of years before they find an available embodiment that suits them. No one is really the mother or father of anyone else. All are sons and daughters of the mother-father principle of life called God. All here are brothers and sisters to one another, siblings to one another. Your children and your parents are really siblings to you, and an equal part of the mind of God. Each entity knows before he comes here that he is not coming back to be the grand beauty, or the wealthy entity, or the wretched pauper. He comes here because he wants to live here, and to be enterprising in emotional learning on this level, to obtain emotional understandings that he wants to fulfill within his being. That is the true treasure of your life experiences, whether here or on other planes or dimensions, for that is the only thing that remains with you throughout eternity. The entity who has chosen you, Master, was what is termed your father's father's father. It is returning through the lineage which it set into motion over a century ago. Your desire to bear siblings enables it to come back, for now it has a vehicle through which it can return. The entity is in line, so to speak, for the fruit that you will bring forth. There are many entities in this audience who have entities surrounding them in their light field, who are there waiting in line for conception to occur. First, I wish you to understand that this is the plane of three-dimensional perception. It is the plane where thought is visible in the three-dimensional form called matter. This plane is the density of matter because thought has been expanded into a vibratory frequency called light, which then has been slowed in its vibratory frequency to become electrum, and from electrum to become gross matter, and from gross matter to become the solidity of this plane. The matter of this plane is thus light that has been slowed in its vibratory frequency and taken to its densest form. In order for everything here to have the same density, everything has to vibrate at the same frequency. Thus your body is vibrating at the same frequency as the chair in which you are seated. This level exists to you because the senses of your embodiment have been designed to perceive the slowest frequencies of light, called matter. Because you are in your essence a light energy, that is of a greater vibratory frequency than the density of matter, if you did not possess an embodiment of matter, you would pass through the matter of this plane. Thus the body is what allows you, through its density and sense organs, to perceive and experience and interact with the matter of this plane. So if you wish to be a part of this frequency, you must inhabit and be a part of a manifested body. One way to have an embodiment is to be born through the birth canal. The only other way to have a body in order to experience this plane is to be born through the birth canal, wholly maintain the integrity of self, and activate the entirety of the organ called the brain. Once you have opened your brain capacity to full use, you can at will command the body to raise its vibratory frequency to the point where it goes out of the frequency level of matter and into the vibratory frequency of light. That is called ascension. Ascension is simply the means of taking the entirety of your being into another dimension of your accepted consciousness. Death is certainly one way to get there, but that means allowing the structure of the embodiment to fall into age and decay and to be no longer. Then you are without the embodiment. Ascension is taking your embodiment with you. Those who have ascended this plane have mastered the ultimate, which is death. They have learned how to raise, through the power of their thought, the vibratory frequency of the body's molecular structures to the point where the body is taken with them into a light existence, thus forever bypassing death. When you take your body with you, the body can be raised and lowered upon any frequency level you choose. So if you choose to come back into this frequency, you never have to look for another body, with another ego, in order to exist in another life, with another family, in another country. You no longer have to be born again into this plane of limited thinking, only to undergo the programming of social consciousness and have to fight for the expression of self in order to regain your knowingness. You do not have to learn all over again that the body can be restored to the purest light form from which it came. You do not have to learn again that this is just an illusion and a game. Once you master ascension, you maintain your body forever and can come and go at will with your own embodiment. Then, any moment you wish to be a part of this plane again, all you have to do is lower the bodily vibrations to where it vibrates at the same frequency as this plane, and here you are. All here are capable of ascending, for that which lurks behind the illusion of flesh is the creator of all universes. And you at your own choosing, through unlimited thinking, can make this manifestation occur. When you learn to master judgment against your thoughts, and allow yourself to receive all thought, you have the power and the ability to become any ideal that you envision. Then you can do or become anything through thought. You can take your thought, concentrate it on the body, and command the body to vibrate faster. The body will then elevate towards the ideal that the thought holds steadfast for it. The whole of the body will begin to vibrate at a greater rate of speed. As it does so, the temperature of the body will rise and the body will begin to take on a glow. As it continues to vibrate faster, the matter of the body will go into pure light, and then into pure thought. Then that which was seen is seen no longer. Ascension is very easy to achieve. In truth, it is simpler than dying. What is difficult to achieve is mastering judgment against your thoughts. What is indeed difficult to achieve is mastering the illusion of time in order to allot yourself the patience to do it. But once you do, ascension is simply a thought away. Then you have retained your body for all times and can thus be a traveler upon any plane at any moment you choose. You know death is a great illusion. Death is an accepted reality on this plane, which all think must be, thus it has become a reality. The only reality is life. Everything else is an illusion. Illusions are thoughts that are games that become realities. Death is not a necessary rule in this kingdom. It is far easier to take the body with you. Then you never have to be born again through the birth canal and come into a consciousness which regretfully does not accept your memory. No one has to die. You will die only if you believe you will. But the body need not ever die. The gods who designed it did not design it to last for only a fleeting moment in time. They designed the body to live off its glands, not its organs. And through a flow of hormones from the glands, the body was designed to live hundreds of thousands of years and never grow old. That was how it was programmed in its cellular structures. Only a short time ago in your history, entities lived to be thousands of years old. Death is only the ending of the body, not of the personality self. But it is through the attitudes of the personality self that the life force of the body is degraded, and the body is evoked into what is termed death. Your body responds only to what it is told to do. Your soul, which sits behind your heart, governs the entire body through its emotional structure. The soul is what causes hormones to be dispensed throughout the body in order to maintain life in the embodiment. The soul does not do this on its own, but rather under the direction of your attitudes and thought processes. Because of your attitudes here, the hormones cease to be created in the body after puberty. When they are no longer created, a death hormone is activated in the body, and the whole body begins to break down, to grow old, and to die. The death hormone is activated in the body because you live in guilt and self-judgment and the fear of death. And to you, beauty is based wholly on the appearance of youth, not on the character of one's being. You anticipate death by purchasing insurance to bury yourself. You purchase insurance to protect your treasury if you become ill or diseased. You are doing everything possible to hasten the aging and death of your embodiment because you wholly expect it. The body is only a servant, an instrument of collective thought. It is a magnificent creation, the most refined instrument there is, but it was not created to have a mind of its own. It was created specifically to be a servant, and it will live only as long as you allow it to live. If you accept thoughts of old age, expecting the body to wither away and die, or deny yourself love and happiness and joy, your body will gradually descend itself into the corruption of death. You know, Master, in this very moment you can cease time completely and live in the foreverness of this now, if you so choose. For is time not an illusion? Who has seen it? A great hypocrisy exists here, because you refuse to believe in the unseen, yet you wholly worship and are enslaved to time. You have the power right within you, right where you are, to reverse the age of your embodiment back into youth and to live on and on and on. How? Simply through your attitude. If you do not want the body to age and die, change your attitude. Let your attitude say that the body will live forever, and so it will. Remove all things from your life that acknowledge the ending of it, and it will never end. Never have the word old in your vocabulary understanding. Have forever in your understanding. Cease the celebration of your birthdays, for that only gives credence to the aging process. If it pleases you to acknowledge your birth, do so, but reverse the count of your years and become younger. When you do not expect your death, you will never know it. Always live in the present, Never acknowledge any future other than this now. Your now will be eternity, if you permit it to be so. Never contemplate how long you are going to live, for you will always live. Contemplate the foreverness of your body, and so it will become. That is simply how it is. Love yourself, Master. Bless your body. Speak to your soul, which is the Lord of your being, and command it to bring forth the enzymes of youth, and it will. Know that the body can live forever. And how does it live forever? By telling it to. Immortality is achieved only when one does away with the understanding of mortality. This travesty called death could be eliminated by the whole lot of humanity, if they lived not in the future or the past, but in the ongoingness of this now, and if the attitude of living was greater than the prospects of dying. This shall be eliminated here in the years to come, for time will be no longer, and these understandings will have become a living reality in everyone upon your plane. Then death will have become a senseless no thing. Very few will ascend in this life, for few will truly realize and appreciate what is being taught here. Most will die because they acknowledge age and deterioration, and they care for the splendid machine that carries them only to the extent that it looks good. Thus they will age, and the body will fall into corruption, and it will die. Then the spirit and soul shall be freed of their union with the body. However, in order to come back to this plane of density and matter, they will need a vehicle through which to express. Thus is the rebirthing of masters. Most here will die. But that does not mean that is all for them. It simply means that the mask of the embodiment is removed, and they will have to take up another. But if they do choose to return here, they will be returning to a consciousness that will facilitate ascension, for soon it will be an understood and accepted reality.
Ship, the Jupiter 1, is the command ship of the Jupiter fleet, numbering 487 ships all told. We are located above your atmospheres in the northeast quadrant of your skies and can be observed by those who are aligned with our frequencies as a pulsating beam of purples, blues, and greens. There is a ship known as the Dove in the southwest quadrant. There is also another ship known as Aurelia in the northwest quadrant, and a fourth in the southeast quadrant named the Lorelei. Our ship is comparable to what you humans have as a 28-story building within one of your cities, and carries a total complement of some 9,500 embodiments. At this present time, there are approximately 2,100 souls that normally would be incarnated aboard ship, serving in physical structures on your planet in various capacities to assist your civilizations and to assist your governments and mankind to become aware of the God within them and aware of their universal origins and oneness.
Very interesting, Commander. Could you tell me, since you did mention about these beings walking with us on this planet, is your normal body type very humanoid to pass for ours?
Quite frankly, I would be declared somewhat of, as you say, a freak. Some of your basketball players are approximately a foot or so shorter than my physical structure. However, being hairless and certain apertures not being present within my structure, I do not feel at this time that I might be, shall we say, royally received.
Commander, how do your friends from the ship who have the same, or do they change their body when they walk amongst the Earth?
Now you have come to the answer for this question. There are, as one of your cohorts, Mr. Steiger, has written about, certain souls from embodiment aboard ship that have walked into physical structures upon your planet, having had these situations prearranged with existing souls who were ready to terminate a physical incarnation. Also, this process occurs, and occurs in the greatest volume, within young children from the ages of 2 to 8 years of age. This has all been prearranged before the primal incarnation took place, to allow the soul with the higher frequency of vibrations to enter into a pre-designated physical structure. You must understand that the average female upon your planet does not possess a high enough frequency of energies to be able to bear the soul of a star child or an alien, for there is a great incompatibility existing.
That's interesting, that's interesting. What do they do, Commander, with their normal bodies? Do they put them into suspended animation? Do they pass away, or what is done?
The normal structure is returned to the universal energy masses from which it was created. You must understand that when your soul consciously will be at the point where it can draw upon creation by thought, the universal energy mass is at your disposal.
Yeah, of course.
And you merely need to have a thought, and the reality is present for you. By the year of 1985, your planet shall have evolved into a new level of growth for itself. This is what is causing so much unrest among mankind at this time. For Earth itself is alive and is maturing, and it is getting ready to house a more highly evolved level of soul. Those of mankind who do not become aware of God, who do not become aware of themselves, shall be incompatible within the vibrations of their own planet, and we shall have more crime, more unrest, more revolutions, etc. What shall occur when the lifespans for these individuals has terminated is that the level of soul shall incarnate elsewhere, not on the planet Earth. A new level of soul is being prepared and has in some isolated cases already begun to incarnate upon Earth. It is a movement into the age of love, to take the sword of the Pisces and to put the rose of the Aquarian love in front of it, and to have the power with love. There shall indeed be earth changes that shall occur on the surface of your planet, but these are normal evolutionary processes. I do not believe that hundreds of thousands of lives shall be lost by great cataclysmic changes and tidal waves, etc. I believe that these changes shall occur gradually, and in fact, the more and greater percentage of mankind that becomes aware, each effect shall be lessened. For there is nothing that heals wounds like love. There is no doubt in our minds that economic structures may have to undergo radical alterations and adjustments. There will be a return to nature. There will be a return to many Indian ways of philosophy, and existence to care for Mother Earth. For as mankind grows, they shall become aware that they are prodding with their feet upon half of their existence. For it behooves me to share with you that the balance of vibrations that you are exposed to on your planet come from beneath the surface of your structure, Earth, as well as from above. For energy vortexes that bathe your planet must be in balance from those within the central core of this planet. If not, the planet would of course be out of orbit and off of its axis. And so mankind shall become aware of Earth, and shall become aware that the Earth nourishes it equally as well as spiritual aspects. This probably will be the greatest revolutionary change within the ideology and thoughts of mankind as time passes. Hopefully, in the beginning of the 21st century, mankind shall begin to cast aside the prejudices of calling themselves Christians and Muslims and Jews, and call themselves children of God. For how can one be better than the other? And if this should come to pass, then truly mankind shall be an example of universal brotherhood. For this is how it must be. You see, your Bible is full of many myths and symbology, and perhaps the most misunderstood area of symbology relates to your knowing of what you call Adam, Eve, and the Garden of Eden. For have you not thought that perhaps the planet Earth itself is the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve and the asp are man and woman and free will?
Very symbolic.
That is quite true. And the plan is for this planet to indeed become a Garden of Eden.
When do you see that happening, Commander?
This is most of a variable factor, for we are, of course, dealing with the free will of mankind. And as long as he denies, it shall not occur. But it shall occur before the year of 3000.
One way for peace to come. None of us will be here.
It is quite difficult for me, and there was a little humor thrown in there, to relate to you within specific year frames. You must understand that our concept of time is quite different from yours. And in addition to all of the variables, it would be most difficult for me to give you a specific year. For I cannot deny that one segment of mankind might push a button and blow you all apart, for this could happen. But it is not meant to be.
You don't see a major world war coming in, Commander? You see us averting it?
We are trying to avert it for you as much as you are. For it is not desirable. Far from it.
What do you see the chances of being given a percentage? Don't you have the power to stop them if you want?
Of course.
Will you use that power if we get close to it?
We shall not. And I shall explain to you why. We cannot involve ourselves and disrupt divine order. We cannot interfere with the free will of mankind unless we are invited to do so. But how we would get involved is how we have become involved before with your nuclear explosions. is to create energy barriers to contain all areas of fallout from contaminating the rest of the solar system and galaxy, to destroy spiritual sisters and brothers who are not involved in this kind of chaos. Understand from our point of view that no one is being destroyed. It is just a physical structure being disintegrated. And the soul shall learn the lesson upon transition and shall repeat it once again. If mankind could one day understand that they are not children of earth, that they are children of a universe, then catastrophes and situations that occur upon earth would be as a grain of sand among a desert, and peace would reign in their hearts and stability within their lives. For it matters not what occurs here, it matters what occurs from origin. And so what is an existence of 60 or 70 years? It is but a fraction of time. And if a lesson is not learned, it shall be experienced again in the future. For lives are not lost, they are just transformed.
Do you see a total collapse of society as we know it has been prophesied by some aware people?
We do not see this occurring any more than we see the Messiah returning to earth. What shall occur is in small pockets of areas that collapses shall occur. But the growth of mankind shall prevent a total overall collapse. For I am pleased to say that, as I shared with you before, with some of the complement of our souls walking on earth, there are of course souls involved from other ships and other societies on earth in a likewise manner. And they are spreading the light, they are spreading the truth, and mankind is beginning to listen and to hear. And once man hears, the negativity shall fade and dim. Within 20 years, medicine as you know it today shall have changed quite drastically. What shall occur will be the general acceptance of spiritual energy healing, as well as the utilizations of magnetic vibrations through crystals in conjunction with color vibrations and tone. The trinity of the magnetics, the tones, and the color shall revolutionize the medical practices and shall eliminate most of the normal diseases that mankind has saddled itself with to this date. What I would say to mankind is as follows. Open your hearts, allow yourselves to accept the presence of God within you. Look to your disease. Look to the need that you feel you have for this disease and for the set of circumstances that has caused it to occur. And if you can ascertain in your minds that your needs for this are no longer there, look to the God within to release it and allow yourselves to be whole.
Our planet has long been reaching out for contact, physical, conclusive contact with beings from other planets. Will this happen? Will it ever happen?
Of course this shall occur. It has occurred in the past and has occurred since the days of the Bible in Ezekiel. And it shall occur again. There is a major process and project in the works at this time. The exact details I am not permitted to share, for you must understand that when one negative vibration is cast upon a mission, the mission is aborted. for we are talking about the purity of transference of vibrations, where certain souls will be physically lifted off the face of the planet for final instructions, for final enlightenment, to serve, and I use one of your terms, as messiahs for mankind, not for one messiah, for there shall be tens of thousands. For only in this manner can mankind be saved. And we have not appeared to the general population upon earth, for most of the heads of your governments have denied our existence and do not wish us to share. There are many who have experienced lift-off themselves, but are so afraid and so fearful that they keep the public in ignorance. And why should we descend in love and be blown to bits? And so we wait. And we reach those whose hearts and minds are open to our existence. And we teach mankind slowly. And we do offer our help in spite of yourselves. And we are not here to destroy. We are here to build and to share love.
Lately there's been a lot of powerful movies concerning space, meeting with extraterrestrials and things like this. Will these continue, and will they play an important role in our education?
They most definitely shall continue. One of the people who is involved in this, I believe his name is Spielberg, is of course a space child, and of course is channeling through much information, much truth I might add, to share with mankind. For it behooves us to use your media to teach mankind, to eliminate fears, and to bring peace. There are currently being planned in several areas of your United States educational programs within the metaphysical area for publication and distribution among your television networks, where the average man and woman may sit in their homes and learn areas and methods of growth, much as if they were going to school. Shall greatly increase as the years pass, when the general acceptance shall demand it.
Are all these people males that are in from your...
Absolutely not. Out of the 2,100, there are approximately 985 in a female expression.
I thought you said they couldn't.
The female has trouble giving birth, is what he said.
Giving birth?
Yeah, the womb, the physical, something like that. Commander, did you say that?
Yes. When the woman conceives, the soul is present at the instant of conception to nurture the fetus with its eternal energies. If the vibrations of the soul are not compatible with those of the mother, then a miscarriage occurs. And so, if we are dealing with a highly evolved master whose vibrations are quite elevated, it is most difficult to find a woman whose vibrations are also high to carry the child to term. This is what we were stating previously.
Will we advance in our own space travel?
Of course this shall occur. Let me...
When? Do you know if there were any major steps coming in the future?
We are dealing in an alchemic reaction, for there must be physics and chemistry and belief. The physics and the chemistry are present. The belief still does not exist to the fine enough degree, and it is the catalyst in the reaction. You must understand that when we travel in space, we travel through the universal grid systems, and we travel by thought, not by speed of light or sound, but by thought. And mankind must bring himself to the point where he becomes aware of the great capacities of his brain and his mind. for all of mankind possesses these capabilities.
When will we be aware of this?
It will not occur until mankind decides to eliminate prejudice and to embrace his brothers in love and understand who he truly is relating to the universe. I shall say to you that when in several years the vibrational rate of Earth has changed, this process shall be greatly speeded up. For in every ensuing day, more and more highly evolved souls of master level are incarnating on your planet to be here, to bring new levels of understanding and awareness to mankind. You are living in exciting times. For the present time, we believe you have reached the limits of your expression. To explore further, within reasonable time limits of exploration is the major problem at this time, and so already at this time efforts are underway to revamp new forms of projection and energy for these purposes.
Are you talking about gravatics?
Yes.
What is that? I don't know what that is. Gravatics is the control of gravity.
I shall explain. If you were to be sitting aboard our ship, you would not be subject to what you refer to as the G-forces. For the ship and all the molecules present aboard it all move at exactly the same rate of speed. Therefore, there is no subjecting to any gravitational pulls at all. When this occurs, the speed of travel is beyond your comprehension. This is what mankind must develop. Otherwise, once you will get past a certain point, your physical structures shall be ripped to shreds. This has been a major block and shall continue to be so.
When do you see us learning this?
Quite frankly, you shall have to learn it from us.
When will you teach it?
As soon as you open your minds and ask us to.
I'm sorry. Our governments have been trying to steal this information from the ETs, haven't they? Almost by trying to shoot ships down and stuff like that. I've gotten feelings like that.
It is not a question of stealing. It is a question of procuring this type of information. This is quite true. But it is also the shootings have occurred out of fear. And several of the ships that are located within your Air Force hangars in the state of Colorado are evidence to this fact.
Those are the secret flying saucers that have been hidden away, that have been captured.
This is quite true.
I just said that for Gary. You know where they are? Colorado?
Of course we know where they are.
Can you tell me?
We are not privileged to share that.
Why not?
We do not wish to cause rioting among mankind. We must allow you your own free will expressions. We must allow you to make your own mistakes within certain limits, and we cannot interfere.
Commander, do they have any ET people captive, alive or dead?
There were 2 who were captured dead.
Will our government ever reveal these 2 in the near future?
It has been revealed in certain highly classified documents. In time, when acceptance is on a little more broader scale, this too shall be revealed. Within the field of communications shall be the greatest advances over the next several decades.
For example, what will happen?
Those who are developing the control of their vibrations and their minds or those whose energy systems have been transported aboard ship and who have had their systems turned crystalline in nature become receivers for the universal vibrations of magnetics. This means, in your language, that they shall receive impulses at the universal level in tones and sounds and colors that within your minds shall be transformed into your languages. A greater and greater percentage of mankind is becoming aware of space communication, and it shall be through this medium that the awareness of our existence comes to pass, and much knowledge from a scientific level as well as from a spiritual level shall be disseminated to mankind. It is important for all of mankind not to fear us, to understand that we as you are children of a Creator, and that we are all as one, and that we are here to assist, not to harm, for we are all within the light. And we await your open arms to welcome us, that we may share with you and you may share with us. And we in our own way pray for this constantly. And we send you the light and the love of the universe. Bless you.
Love.